Rolling hills blanketed by lush green trees surround the town of Bangor, Maine, creating a serene backdrop to this historic and relaxing city. One of my coworkers from Texas said she normally thought of the Northeast in terms of thriving cities, crowded streets, and harried people. You'll find just the opposite in this quaint New England town. Speaking with the locals from Maine, or Mainers as they like to be called, I realized these are resilient people with an easygoing attitude towards life. The Mainers' attitude describes the city of Bangor, resilient from a tough history of fire and freezing, contrasted by the relaxed attitude from being located on the edge of a beautiful wilderness. Downtown is only 4 miles from our hotel, the Holiday Inn Bangor Airport, so I decided to walk since this allowed me to get a better feel for the city. My coworkers did not wish to walk, so they took advantage of the complimentary hotel shuttle, which transports hotel guests within 4 miles free of charge. Conveniently, the hotel gave me the direct number to the shuttle driver to arrange for pickup when I finished exploring Bangor. Of course, it took me over 2 hours to walk the 4 miles because I couldn't help but stop and take pictures along the way. Exiting the hotel and making an immediate left, I followed the signs directing drivers to the Coal Transportation Museum a half a mile down the road. The museum houses a large collection of historic transportation equipment from fire trucks and snowplows to trains and large farm equipment. Outside on the museum property is a war memorial park honoring those who served in the armed forces. Behind the museum, a trail, which was once a paved road, leads past a golf course. The trail is atop a hill overlooking a slowly rolling and manicured golf course. Many were arriving for the first round of golf to enjoy the crisp air on this sunny, cool morning. Following my GPS, I turned towards town. Walking on the residential streets, it was apparent the people of Bangor take pride in the condition of their homes. The architecture is primarily colonials and Cape Cods with well-manicured lawns. The homes are in great condition for being so old. The friendly people waved or smiled as I passed their warm, inviting homes. Approaching downtown, a sign for the Bangor Raceway came into view. The horse track was full of activity, with horse trailers continually entering the raceway. Scattered amongst the long stalls, 2-wheeled carts called sulkies were being prepared for the horses. The raceway is built on the historic Bass Park, home of the first airplane flight in Maine and also home of the state fair. Leaving the park and heading down Main Street, I had my first glimpse of the Penobscot River and Hollywood Casino along the riverbank. Recently, this new casino was opened on the waterfront, having moved a few blocks from its original austere setting. The hotel seemed brand new and very modern compared to the old structure a few hundred yards away. This seems like an interesting venue for a future visit. Walking towards town, a sign greets visitors to Bangor in the waterfront park. The park sits at the bottom of a shallow hill sloping towards the river. A railroad track runs along the river and must be crossed to get to the riverfront and brick walkway. Park benches and picnic tables line the walkway overlooking the river. I met a retired couple who came to enjoy their lunch and the serenity of the river as it slowly flowed in front of us. At the end of the walkway you can take a boat cruise down the river on board a replica of an old steamboat. The 1-hour harbor cruise is $20 and the half-hour sunset cruise is $25. Instead of jumping on the cruise ship, I was given a tour by a local on board a personal watercraft. Departing the city dock, we boarded the small motorboat and made our way south. The river makes sharp turns punctuated by steep banks. Passing large homes with glass enclosed decks. I could imagine watching the sunrise with a cup of coffee overlooking the river and the boats traversing the dark waters. Moving further south, we rounded a bend where lush evergreens grew from the ridge top down towards the river, almost touching the water. I know now why this is such a great area for lumber. There are trees everywhere. Unfortunately, the river has a high mercury content because of the unregulated pollution of the Penobscot River from years past. Since many of the paper mills have shut down, the mercury levels are decreasing. Before darkness interrupted our boat ride, we navigated the boat upstream and headed towards the dock. Remembering he had one more sight to show us, our tour guide motored us past the dock and up towards an old hydroelectric plant, which now is public assistance housing. The sky behind the building, colored in swaths of blue, White wispy clouds and amber flames of the setting sun signaled that it was time to head back to the dock. Since the cool Maine air seemed even colder in the middle of the Penobscot River, we decided to find a warmer setting and dinner. My favorite place for a beer and lobster roll is the Sea Dog. Perched atop a bar stool on the deck overlooking the river, we sampled the local microbrews as we watched the river reflecting the sun, setting in pigments of yellow and burnt orange. You must try a lobster roll if you haven't had one. This delightful meal is the meat from a lobster mixed in mayonnaise, a few spices, and placed in a white roll resembling a large hot dog bun. The succulent sweet meat almost melted in my mouth. I look forward to my next visit to have another. Since it was Saturday night, many jovial patrons arrived at the Sea Dog. If you don't get there early, you won't be able to find a seat. After leaving the Sea Dog, we ventured downtown towards the center of Bangor, only a few blocks away. The center city has a dozen good restaurants and bars. This is a great spot to sit in the sidewalk cafe and enjoy dinner. One evening during our visit, my co-workers and I settled into the chairs outside the Wig and the Carrier pub. This is a great place for food and drinks, but the crisp Maine air and slight breeze caused me to begin to fall asleep in my chair while watching people walking to and fro. Grand old buildings, numerous parks, bridges crossing narrow canals, small museums, and many restaurants make this city a great place to walk. I particularly like the many cafes and bookstores scattered throughout town. One bagel shop has chairs outside and a large window allowing both those inside and outside to enjoy the scenery. A short distance down the street is the library. The library's architecture is particularly interesting with its large pane glass windows and planters hanging full of many colorful flowers. If you're bringing the kids, you'll want to visit the Discovery Museum on Main Street. The clock outside alludes to the fun your kids will have inside this hands-on museum. Wilderness abounds in this state, making it easy to find activities outside the city. Many outdoor activities will keep your kids happy in and around Bangor. Skiing, hiking, and bicycle riding are just a few of the activities allowing you and your family the opportunity to enjoy the great outdoor wonders of this state. I always enjoy visiting Bangor because I know I can relax in the laid-back Maine atmosphere. The restaurants are plentiful, with most serving the local favorite of lobster roll. This is one of the most walkable cities in the country. There are large sidewalks, scenic views of flowing waterways, and numerous small parks throughout the city. Bangor is a historic town full of museums and historic venues. Only minutes away from the city of Bangor, you can enjoy the amazing and large wooded countryside. I now understand why many people have vacation homes in and around the Bangor area. Bangor is a great place to relax with many activities the whole family can enjoy.